There are many theoretical models used by grief counsellors, and whilst personally I'm not a fan of using models directly in my role, I do love the Whirlpool of Grief simply because it's so relatable. Over a lifetime, we travel down the river of life, and whilst we often experience a few rapids and a few waves, we navigate through them and seem to find a way through those difficult times. When we experience a bereavement, it's more than just a few waves or rapids. It's like a waterfall. Sometimes we see the waterfall approaching, which we can relate to maybe a loved one being ill or receiving end of life care, for example. Sadly, sometimes it's a sudden bereavement, and the waterfall is unexpectedly just there in front of us with no time to react. After a bereavement, it can feel like you're free falling over and down the waterfall. You can feel scared and overwhelmed, and there may be times where you wonder how on earth you'll ever survive. When you reach the bottom of the waterfall, you realize that you have survived, yet the water, or the grief, is still swirling around, making it feel like it's hard to catch your breath and keep your head above water. During those initial days, weeks, or months, it can often feel like the water will never calm and that you'll always be grieving or trying to survive. Thankfully, over time, the water does begin to feel less overwhelming as we start to grieve for the loss of our loved one. As you navigate through those new waters, grief support could be viewed as a temporary life jacket, allowing you to simply take the time to breathe and to process the journey you've been on since going over the waterfall. How long that journey takes is individual, with no time pressure and certainly no right or wrong way to grieve. Sometimes just being able to keep your head above water for a while and talking about your grief will nurture and grow the inner strength you need to finally take that life jacket off and move forwards independently. The grief support life jacket is temporary and isn't always needed, as many people navigate their way through their grief with the support of family and friends. However, for those who would benefit from the safe, non judgmental setting of grief counselling, it can be an invaluable step towards moving through grief and finding happiness, love, and your own unique sense of new normal. For more information about grief support, you can contact me directly on seasontime@outlook.com.